ask questions or use those levels. Those are the ones that we're going to focus on all day. And again, we can tweak those, we can add to them, we can subtract from them. They're not etched in stone. And obviously everybody here, trades on their own different risk tolerance. Everybody trades differently, right? Nobody here trades the same. So you have to find the niche that works for you and then try to take advantage of it and understand the volatility that's in the market that occurs and use that to your advantage based on your risk tolerance. All right, the market continues to downtick here. Looking at the 12 areas, the next support area. If anybody has any questions, again, feel free to ask in the chat. All right, Mark, and we do have a number coming out here in about 5 minutes, PMI number. So keep that in mind if you're trading. Again, we don't like to have positions on when we're trading, so not our best situation. So we'd like to be flat when those numbers are released. Again, those numbers do come out. What symbol to use for what? The S&Ps is ES, and we're trading the June contract, so it'd be ESM. All right, staying on the lows here, looking at the 12 is our next area of support. As you can see here, they've been trading in well, I was going to say narrow range. I guess a 25-point range is not a narrow range, but they have been in this little range here for most of the morning. So definitely kind of a quiet, maybe. But considering the volatility that's out there, it's relatively kind of market's trying to find a little area here to base out after this big break that it's having. And we have a number going to be released here in about a minute. So well, again, we don't like to trade or have any positions on when there is a number to be released. So consequently, that number right now, and they definitely don't like to have anything going on when that comes out. All right, well, we didn't get down. They double bottomed there and we're rotating back up here. Again, there's a number is out right now. As you can see here, it's kind of a little bit bullish. Again, you'd be guessing as to which way these numbers are going to go, so we don't like to guess. So we'll just wait for the number to be released. If there's a number is really out of whack, it'll give us an opportunity to trade anyway. So there's no reason to have a position on. Again, very tough to trade when there's no reason to have a position on. Let's put it that way. All right, a little jumpy in this trade right now. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. All we can do is wait for opportunities. And, the tendency, like I say, keep saying, is that you want to trade because it's moving around. But we're trying to find trades that we can try to make money on. There's not just trades that are jumping around and just because you feel like you have to trade. It's not. We're looking for opportunities to trade off of levels that we have. So consequently, patience is important. And even though it is jumping around like it is, there's no reason to have to say that you got to trade. You got to wait. Of course, if you like this kind of back and forth in a range type of trade, then go for it. Again, like I keep saying, everybody trades differently. Nobody here trades the same. So Coming down here to the lows. Next support level we have is down at 12. Seems like it's going to be the next buzzword there, Pat. What can I tell you? All right, just kind of chopping around, looking for 12. Um, see what it wants to do there. We do have some more numbers coming out here at 9 o'clock. New home sales, which could be a little bit of a market mover in Richmond Fed. And then at 11:20 Chicago time, Powell is going to be chit-chatting. So it's always a issue there every time he talks. Let's see what first of all, this is not options. This is futures, Russell. We are trading futures and not options. So we are, again, scalping these opportunities, looking for areas that we feel that are important. So it's a little bit different than stocks, and obviously a lot different than options. So it's definitely I mean, it's not the same as options, that's for sure. There's a lot of capital needs in options here. Is trying to find areas or levels that we feel will give us an opportunity to buy low and sell high. That's the goal here, and we're looking for about 4 to 5 of those opportunities in the course of a day. On average, and we also focus more on the morning hours to give us those opportunities. So definitely not the same as options, because options require more capital, holding onto positions, and stocks also kind of the same. So it's a totally different ball game. We're trading equity. Just as an aside there for you. We are not holding positions overnight. We are usually in and out of a position. Like I said, we had 2 trades this morning, and they all occurred within 5 minutes. So, and now we're not doing anything. We kind of wait for an opportunity. I mean, some of us are not doing anything. There's others who are trading, but you have to find those opportunities that fit your mindset, that fit your risk tolerance, and just focusing on those and trying to make a little bit of money around those opportunities versus anything else. All right, a little bit choppy here, as you can see. They're holding it down to the bottom end of that range that we've been at all morning. The latest gathering of the world political and business elite, plus the usual smattering of celebrities, taking place this week in the Swiss Alps of Davos. While the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum is usually broadcast in January, it was delayed multiple times this year due to COVID-19. As a result, the headlines aren't making as much of their usual waves. But then again, many have already dismissed the rich and powerful elite that gave us the term Dovis man and Dovis woman. The program this year will focus on six pillars, including fostering global and regional cooperation, securing economic recovery, and shaping new era of growth, building health and equity societies, and safeguarding climate, food, and nature. They have a lot of stuff to work on, these people. Jeez. However, based on the recent corporate earnings calls and investment conferences, things appear to be moving in the opposite direction. Mentions of nearshoring, onshoring, and reshoring, or at the highest level since at least 2005, according to data provided by some firm, while with the deglobalization approach at work amid a strong shift towards nationalism and protectionism. Geopolitical threats and pandemic supply chain shortages have exacerbated those forces, but the folks at Davos seem to be warning of other unintended fallouts. Wow, yeah, there's busy people over there. But a lot of banks go there, so we'll see what they come up with, anything, if it's going to affect the market or not. And then see what happens there. But we do have a number in about 4 minutes here. See where that's going to bring us. All right, market drifting slowly down here a little bit. Got right down to 12 there, and getting a nice little rotation here off of that. Hopefully, if you had 12, you got filled, and you got a nice little 5-point rotation off of our 12 area, right on the heels of this number that's coming out. So if you did jump in there at the 12, again, that's a support area, so obviously it's buy area, and if you got in there before it, you got a nice rotation here off of it. You got 12, it did go down to 12, so maybe you got some in there as well. And depending on how many contracts you're trading, everybody trades a little bit differently. You have to find the niche that fits your risk tolerance, like I keep saying. So nice rotation there against our 12 area. We do have a number coming out momentarily here. in about a minute or so. All right, and the market continues to slowly downtick. Next support level we have is down at the 03 area. But number is going to be released here. See what that does. A couple numbers. The home sales obviously is a big number that the market kind of looks at, especially with the environment that we are in. Okay. Market continues to slowly downtick on the heels of this number. Maybe they leaked it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. We'll see here. 03 again, we're flat. There's the numbers out. Obviously, it was a little bit of a leak. Continues to downtick here. I'm not saying that these things happen, but these things happen. Somebody got a big 500 lot order there at 625. He got filled and he came in with more. I don't know if you noticed that. He came in with more. The market kind of stopped, popped up a little bit. There's a perfect price action play there if you've ever seen one. Right. Support level is down at 03. Again, there's a little bit of a price action scalp if you did jump in there. Looking at the 03 as our next support level. All right, nice rotation there. Got down to 275. So those of you who had the 3 got filled, got up to 8 there, and a nice little rotation against our support level there at 03. Hopefully you were able to jump in there and take advantage of that. Obviously, the new home sales was lower than expected, and they kind of knew that. The bond market rallied before, S&P started breaking before, writing was on the wall. Well, maybe it wasn't on the wall because there's no walls to put up. But anyway, you get my drift there. They kind of knew that. The bond market rallied like 10 minutes before, and then we are at the last bar before the number came out, we broke. Now, so yeah, they kind of knew it and came down there, but is holding our support level here at 03. Hopefully, you guys were jumping in there once the number was out. The momentum of the number carried us down to our support level, which is sometimes what we are looking for, and to give us that opportunity to trade that area. So hopefully some of you took advantage of that little trade. And if you just traded our levels alone, you'd be doing okay. There's some other little price action opportunities that occurred there if you were a little aggressive. Again, if you look, for those of you who are just jumping in, if you look at the chat, you'll see our levels that we put up at the beginning of the day when the market opened up. And maybe you'll see them. If not, I'll give them out verbally. Hopefully we'll put up our levels again. All right. Anyway, the support levels that we have were 20, 12, 03. Then below that, we've got 91 and then 78. Again, hopefully we'll put up the levels in the chat in a little bit. So the next level on the downside we're looking at the 38.91 area. There they are. There are the levels that we have in the chat. Let me give you some more levels underneath. Below 78, we got 66, 54, 42, and 26. No problem. So below 78, we got 66, 54, 42, and 26. In case we continue to down to here. Again, we're not trying to predict which way markets go. All we're doing is trading ebbs and flows. The 3 area worked very nicely, and now the market continues to downtick here. Looking at the 91 area next. It doesn't mean, there's, it's tough to figure out. The market just gets, one way, right? And even when you get bad news, everybody's expecting bad news. That bad news comes out, and they continue to sell it off. It just doesn't matter, right? It was just like before, where you had to buy every dip, right? Now you have to sell every rally. It looks like. All right, market continues to downtick here. Looking at the next support level we have is down at the 91. If you traded our levels alone this morning, you should be doing it well. And again, we're looking for about 5 trades or so a day. continues to stay a little bit weak. Looking at the 91 areas, our next support area that we have. It's E as in Edward, S as in Sam, M as in Mary. So ESM. For the mini, so ESM. All right, market coming down here, going to test maybe our 91 area. Got down to 92 there, so be a little bit careful there against the 91 if you're a little bit more risk averse. All right, coming down here again, so be a little bit careful there if you at the 91 because of where it stopped. Maybe you take the lower end of the range there. Or definitely a little bit more riskier. Again, if you keep your stops in place, no matter what, how you enter your trades based on the maybe adjustment based on the fact that it did get down to 92 there. So we always are concerned when that happens, and we try to, you should obviously understand it on your own and then adjust it or kind of be prepared to make that adjustment or even cancel it. But if you did get in and you got stopped out, we're looking at the 78 area next. This part is, I don't understand. Obviously, the housing number is going to suck, right? I mean, the interest rates are going up. This is what the market. That's what you want the market to do, right? You want things to slow down a little bit because that's why you're raising rates. So the fact that they are raising rates slows down, obviously, the housing market, which is slowing down the economy, which is what they want because inflation's too high, right? So everything's working according to what they're supposed to be doing, but look at what the market's doing. Oh no, it's a bad number. The market's going down because the housing number is bad. I mean, what? I guess you can't step away. They can't get away from themselves as far as the recession issue is concerned. All right, coming down here to the 78 area. Okay, got down here to 39. Again, part of the 37, 70, I mean 79, part of the 78. Okay, now coming down to 78. See what it wants to do down here. All right, trying to work the 78 area here. All right, giving you choices here. You always have choices, right? Got up to 80 a couple times there. Again, nothing wrong with taking a little bit off the table there if you don't like the price action, right? And that way you can stay with the rest of the trade without too much angst. If you're trading multiple contracts, if you're trading just one, then just decide how long you want to stay with the trade and trade it accordingly. Trying to get through this 80. I think we get through the 80, we get everything we want there, but just fighting it. All right, there's that run up that we're looking for. I said once we got above the 80, we should get what we want, and hopefully we're able to stay with some and get this nice little rotation here against the 78 area. All right, there's the 83. So nice little rotation there for us. If you did jump in against the 78, took a little bit of heat, really not that much actually. It just kind of hung there for a little bit and then making a nice rotation here off of it. You want to stay short with anything, long with anything that you got. Just keep a really tight stop on the rest of it. And that way you can see if we can't get this thing to pop back up. If not, just get stopped out or take your profits and wait for the next opportunity. Let me give you the next levels on the downside. We've got 66, 54, 42, and then 26. If market really decides to shake loose the downside here. So we got 66, 54, 42, and then 26. All right, let's see here. We're bouncing off of that 78 area. Again, if you're trying to stay long there, you have either a trailing stop and or just take some profits when you got a nice 10, 12 points on that, depending if you did happen to stay long with something. Nothing wrong with a nice 10-point rotation there off of level. We said you would keep a tight stop on anything else. Once we got above that 80, finally did break up. 80 was holding it down, and once we popped above it, the market rotated back up here. And like I said, I don't know where we're going to go. Well, the next support level we have is down at the 66. Right now, we have resistance up at the 15 area. Market kind of holding, facing out there at the 78. Had a nice rotation there off of it. I mean, if anything, we were trying to keep you along there against that level only because it's our level. And again, if you have a trailing stop or if you're trying to see if this is the bottom or not, you are keeping a stop there below. That's anything below 75 there. You don't want to be long. So depending on where you got in and how much, you're only trading, keeping a small amount there for risk. So you got in, let's say at 78, keep a 75 stop. You're stopping, let's say just a one lot there, 3 points, and you're trying to get, you know, 15, 20. You already got 10 if you had any other contracts, right? But you're taking profits here. This is only on extra stuff. Bond market though really popping back up. This is the first time we're seeing really inverse trade, and not only that, but the 10-year, a very big move there in the 10-year. They don't usually. They're up a point, which is very rare. We're up 2 points in the tens, in the 30s, but they're up a point in the tens, which is a very big move there. Maybe again, the inverse trade relationship with bonds and equities. Maybe that's coming back into play here a little bit. Nice little rotation here. If we're doing anything, we're trying to keep you long against the level that we had down there. And again, how you manage it's totally up to you. I'm just throwing different ideas out there for you. It's how you can trade some of those areas that we can get into. And that I know this was going to be the one that was going to. No, I didn't know. All right. If anybody has any questions, a good time to ask. We do have Powell is going to be talking at 11:20 today, so be mindful of that. We also focus on the morning hours to give us our good opportunities, especially if this market rotates back up here. It's kind of, again, we have resistance right now at around the 10 to 15 area. Anybody has any questions? Good time to ask. How we do things, what we do. We are just scalping opportunities here, looking for ebbs and flows of the market. All right, things have settled down here just a little bit, and we'll see where it wants to go from here. Again, had a nice rotation down here. We kind of got run over on one of our trades there. It depends on if you stayed with it or not. We suggested maybe you should cancel because of the price action prior to that. But if you did and you got out, then you had our next level of support there at 78 come in, and that worked out very nicely for you. All right. Again, we're kind of hanging here on these lows. Give you some more levels here on the downside in case you didn't get them. Our support below the next support level we have is down at 66, then 54, 42, and then 26. Right now, our resistance would be between 10 and 15, but that could change. We do have Powell that's going to be talking at 11:20 Chicago time, so be mindful of that. All right, we are kind of just hanging here, and maybe a little bit of a range here. All right, we gave you some, the things have definitely quieted down just a tad. And we'll see where it wants to go next. Are we going to hold here? Yeah, it's anybody's guess if we're going to continue to downtick or if we're going to rotate and go test some of the upper resistance. But again, the upper resistance that we gave out are still useful, except for the fact that we've gone down here, so there's really not much. You're going to have to look at price action opportunities if they rotate back up. Right now, between the 5 to 10 area is what we're looking at. We gave you some levels on the downside there, so be mindful of those. And we do have Powell going to be talking here at 11. 11:20. I don't know why 11:20 and not any other time, but that's what they got it going today. All right, well, it seems like we're trying to extend here to the downside a little bit. And the next support level we have is down at 66. Bonds here on their highs. Again, be a little bit careful here, especially as the day goes on, and then especially when Powell's going to be talking. All right, to kind of extend it here a little bit, really don't have anything till the 66. Seem to be under pressure, but still coming back into a little bit of range here, so who knows. All right, get back here in a bit. We gave you levels on the downside. Be a little bit patient. Right now, resistance would be around the 05 area. And the market's under a little bit of pressure, and we have Powell going to be talking at 11:20 Chicago time. Get back here in a bit.